Namaste, welcome, and aloha. Welcome to the verse titled The Progressive Path Through the Modes Rising from Darkness to Realization. In the previous verse, we learned that ultimate benefit comes from Vishnu, the form of goodness. Now, this verse uses a beautiful analogy to show the progressive path through the modes from ignorance to passion to goodness, culminating in realization of the absolute truth. This verse teaches just as wood comes from earth, smoke from wood, and fire from smoke, so passion arises from ignorance, and from passion comes goodness, which is the direct path to realizing the absolute truth. This is a teaching about progressive spiritual elevation. Let us explore this profound verse. First, the verse in its original Sanskrit. Pativadarano dhumastasmadagnastrayime. Tamasastu rajastasmat sattvam yadubram darshanam. These words reveal the progressive path to realization. Let us understand what they teach. The translation. Firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood, and fire is still better. For by fire we can derive the benefits of superior knowledge through Vedic sacrifices. Similarly, passion is better than ignorance, but goodness is best because by goodness one can come to realize the absolute truth. This is a statement about progressive elevation. Let us explore what this means now. Let us look at some core teaching of this verse. This verse uses a natural analogy to explain spiritual progression through the modes. First, the material analogy. Parthivat darunaha dumaha tasmadagniya traimayaha. Parthivat means from earth. Darunaha means firewood. Dumaha means smoke. Tasmat means from that. Agnihaf means fire. Traimayaf means consisting of the Vedas, repository of Vedic knowledge. From earth comes wood, from wood comes smoke, from smoke comes fire, the repository of Vedic knowledge. This is a progression earth, wood, smoke, fire. Each is better than the previous. Second, the spiritual parallel tamasash tu rajash tasmat sattvam. Tamasaha means from ignorance, from darkness. Tu means but, however. Rajaha means passion. Tasmat means from that. Sattvam means goodness. From ignorance comes passion. From passion comes goodness. This is the same progression tamas, rajas, sattva. Each is better than the previous. Third, the culmination yad brahma darshanam. Yat means which, Brahma means the absolute truth, Darshanam means realization, seeing, vision. Yad Brahma Darshanam, which is the realization of the absolute truth. Sattva goodness is Brahma Darshanam, the platform for realizing the absolute truth. The verse teaches just as fire is progressively derived from earth through wood and smoke, so goodness is progressively attained from ignorance through passion, and goodness leads to realization of the absolute truth. This is the progressive path from tamas to rajas to sattva to brahmadarshanam. Now, let us look at some modern scientific parallels. This ancient teaching has profound parallels in modern developmental psychology and philosophy. First, consider stage theories of development in psychology. Researchers like Piaget, Kohlberg, and Maslow describe development as progressing through distinct stages, each building on the previous. The verse teaches Tamasash to Rajash Tasmat Sattvam, from ignorance comes passion, from passion comes goodness. Progressive stages, each higher than the previous. Second, consider the concept of emergence in systems theory. Higher order properties emerge from lower order components. Fire emerges from the transformation of earth to wood to smoke. The verse teaches Parthivad Darunaha Dumaha Tasmad Agniya, from earth, wood, from wood, smoke, from smoke, fire. Each emerges from the previous. Third, Consider research on motivation and consciousness. Studies show progression from basic survival needs to higher aspirations to self actualization to transcendence. The verse teaches from tamas, basic inert, to rajas, active passionate, to sattva, balanced, clear to brahmadarshanam, transcendent realization. Fourth, consider the concept of refinement in philosophy. Truth is approached through progressive refinement, removing impurities, clarifying understanding. The verse teaches earth to wood to smoke to fire, each is a refinement. Tamas to rajas to sattva, each is a purification leading to Brahma Darshanam. Fifth, consider research on transformative learning. Studies show that significant learning involves not just adding information, but transforming one's perspective through progressive stages. The verse teaches the progression through modes is transformative. You don't just add knowledge, you transform from tamas to rajas to sattva, culminating in Brahmadarshanam, a complete transformation of vision. Let us now move on to some practical application as it relates to this verse. How do we apply this teaching in our daily lives? First, recognize where you are in the progression. Are you in tamas, lazy, ignorant, inert, in rajas, active, passionate, restless, in sattva, balanced, clear, peaceful? Be honest about your current state. This is the starting point. Second, understand that progression is possible from any stage. Tamasa to raja, from ignorance comes passion. Tasmat sattvam, from passion comes goodness. Even if you're in tamas, you can progress to rajas, then to sattva. The path is available. Third, actively work to elevate your mode. If you're in tamas, increase activity, wake up earlier, exercise, engage, move to rajas. If you're in rajas, cultivate balance, regular schedule, healthy food, meditation, move to sattva. Fourth, recognize that sattva is the platform for realization. Sattvam yad brahmadarshanam, goodness, is the realization of the absolute truth. Your goal is not just to be active or successful. Your goal is sattva, the platform for brahmadarshanam, realization of the absolute truth. Fifth, use the analogy to stay motivated. Earth doesn't become fire directly, it becomes wood, then smoke, then fire. You won't jump from tamas to brahmadarshanam directly. Progress step by step. Tamas to rajas to sattva to realization. Now let us look at how this verse can help our young people. For young people at the beginning of their journey, this verse offers hope and direction. You might feel you're starting from a low point, confused, unmotivated, lost in ignorance. The verse teaches tamasas to rajas, from ignorance comes passion. Even from tamas, progression is possible. Start where you are, move forward. The verse teaches tasmat sattvam, from passion comes goodness. Your current passion and energy can be transformed into clarity and balance. Keep progressing. The verse teaches Yad Brahma Darshanam, which is realization of the absolute truth. Your ultimate goal is not just success or achievement, but Brahma Darshanam, realization of the absolute truth. Keep this goal in mind. The verse teaches Parthiva Darunaha Dumaha Tasmad Agniha, progressive transformation. You're not stuck where you are. You can transform step by step until you reach the fire of realization. Now let us look at how this verse can help our older generation folks. For those with more life experience, this verse offers understanding and encouragement. You've likely experienced all three modes: periods of tamas, periods of rajas, periods of sattva. The verse teaches this is natural progression. Each stage has its place in the journey. The verse teaches Sattvam Yad Brahmadarshanam, goodness, is the platform for realization. At this stage of life, focus on cultivating sattva. This is the platform for Brahmadarshanam, the ultimate realization. The verse teaches Agni Trimaya fire is the repository of Vedic knowledge. The culmination is not just peace or balance, but realization. Brahmadarshanam. This is your goal now. The verse teaches progressive transformation is possible at any stage. Even if you've spent years in tamas or rajas, you can still progress to sattva and realization. It's never too late. In conclusion, we can say this verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam reveals the progressive path through the modes to realization. Just as fire is progressively derived from earth through wood and smoke, so goodness is progressively attained from ignorance through passion. And goodness is the platform for realizing the absolute truth. Don't be discouraged by your starting point. Progression is possible from any stage. Work to elevate your mode from tamas to rajas, from rajas to sattva, and from sattva, realize the absolute truth. This is the progressive path. Walk it step by step. Brahmadarshanam, realization of the absolute truth, awaits. Thank you for exploring this verse with me. Thank you, namaste, and mahalo for joining me in this exploration of this verse. The progressive path through the modes, rising from darkness to realization. Now we will move on to next verse.